Ladies and gents, welcome. We're going to completely overlook the fact that I screwed up like 5 different things with my stream coming into this game. Because we've got 3 town centers all right next to one another here. Wow, this is going to be crazy Nomad game. Welcome in, everybody. We've got 3v3 action between Team LY and then Onimaru Vanguard. I do have some things to adjust at the top scoreboard. But I'm going to have to find a moment here to do that. Because we've got some action. We got Doubt playing as the Koreans. We got Jordan right next to him. So 2 teammates for Onimaru Vanguard are like on top of each other here. And then they're directly next to Vivi. And Vivi's going to know that because Vivi's got the Vietnamese, so you know where all enemy town centers are. So real quick, for Onimaru, you've got Doubt and Jordan here, obviously. And then you got Andy. Andy's kind of on his own. This is a very nice position for Andy. It's very unlikely that Andy's going to get pressured, which gives him possibly a free game. And sometimes players in this position will try and focus a little bit on water. It's a very easy task to do so. You do have Andy over here. For China, you got Yo over here. Yo's kind of on his own as the Bohemian, so that could be strong for Yo. We'll see if he ends up finding some of these boars around, because he's going to need some food. He's bringing a boar super long distance, as I say that. And then you got Lix. Lix is over here in the blue. So, like, Lix could help a little bit if he wants to help out Vivi. But I actually don't think it's bad. Usually having a player in this position is actually very good on Nomad because you can have one player disrupt 2. Like, if Vivi can drop 1 castle here, he could just, you know, hugely affect both of them. And then that could win them the game. So, it's probably a very unfun position to be in if you're playing. But it depends who you are, right? I think Vivi's actually going to enjoy it. Give me a second here. Just going to fix some of these details here. We got LY. And then Onimaru Vanguard. Cool. And I think the other thing we'll do is we'll add Vivi's name down here. So people know what we're talking about. Hopefully that stays consistent across the games. Water is a huge role. Remember, 9 villager start affects things. So players will actually usually have like multiple villagers on the shorelines too, so that could always lead to a sneak or something. Andy doing the little trick I talked about yesterday. You're not able to drop hunt off at a dock, but if you take the hunts and then you click the fish, it changes the food in your hands in the game's eyes. And there goes Vivi. Vivi says, thank you very much. And Doubt's going to be like, no, you don't. That's mine, bro. Doubt really needs this boar. The thing is, with Doubt and Jordan next to each other, they're taking each other's boars all as is. So it is a really big thing. Normally, when you're next to someone on Nomad, you can have an issue. And Vivi's going to steal this again, and Doubt's going to be like, are you kidding me? And now Doubt's like, no, that's mine. But I think it's still chasing Vivi. Okay, now Doubt resets it. And now it's going after Vivi again. And now Doubt resets it. And it's going after Vivi again. Is this boar going to make it anywhere? Calculated. Calculated. I don't know what exactly that was. But in the end, Doubt makes the play. That was a pretty funny moment there. It didn't look very confident from Doubt. But he got the job done in the end. And he gets his boar. He really needed that food too. So that was huge. Nice attempt for Vivi. But, you know, Vivi might have really have been missing some boars here. I'm not seeing any boars down here that he can take. And normally if you're long range pushing a deer with a villager, that's a sign that you maybe don't have the food. So, great knowledge. What's up, man? It says 1440p is so much clearer. Nice. Yeah, so I increased the overall quality of like things within capture age and everything. So the game itself should be crisper than before in general. And then the stream's 1440, which is sick. So I'm very happy with that. We still got a couple headaches with the change setup. But yeah, overall things should be really good. And also still recording in 4K. I did accidentally record 2 videos in 1440p only. So hopefully YouTube will forgive me. There are also some epic videos. I think people are going to probably survive. Vivi going to stone already. Doesn't feel like a fast castle here. It feels like it's going to be a tower rush. So maybe the plan for Vivi is to walk around this way and like tower rush behind these 2. But if you're just getting here or you zoomed ahead in the video or whatever, it's certainly a weird generation. But it's either going to help or hurt Doubt and Jordan that they're together here. I think you can have power in numbers. You can have strength in numbers, but you got to deal with Vivi. You can't let Vivi really affect you too much. And there's the barracks for Vivi. So it's going to be a mix of spears, skirms, and towers, I think. He's just going to play full trash and try and make it as messy as possible for these two. Just found out that there's a wood line there. And I think Doubt saw that. Korean villagers have more vision. So, yeah, Doubt saw that. Doubt's probably going to have to deal with this guy. And then maybe Jordan can try and get to Castle Age. And in Castle Age, Jordan can go Siege or something. Doubt's going to Stone already, so he's expecting to have to build some towers. Castle Drop would have been a good move for Vivi, but I think Vivi missed the food. Like, Vivi didn't have a lot of food underneath the town center most of the game, so probably couldn't consider that strategy anymore. It's going to be scouts from Vivi. Doubt's dropping the market, so he was going for a fast castle. He's going to drop a tower now. Might need to bring a couple villagers here to disrupt this a little. And just so many fishing ships out on the map. You've got to think that people could play Navy, but my impression is since the defensive abilities are so strong on water, people are just deciding to not even play aggressive in the first place. Doubt started that tower and realized he's not going to need it, so he actually doesn't finish it, so he can delete it later. And then Vivi's trying to run around this way. Jordan needs to get this wall down fast. Yeah, and I think they need to see this, and now this is where Doubt can delete this tower, and he can just build his own tower here. Nice shot from Jordan. Like, Jordan getting this wall down is huge, because if the scouts came in as well, they'd have big problems. That's not easy to do. The spearman got there, but I think Jordan always should have just enough time there. Remember, we got Lix down here. Lix is going to be in Castle Age. Lix is going to have a castle. On the other side, you got Yo. Yo is on the way to Castle Age. Yo is going to have a castle. So, like, this is going to be double castle. And where do you think the castles are going to end up? The castles are going to come this direction, man. Like, Vivi's buildings here are protecting a perfect castle spot. Doubt wanted a castle, but Doubt has had to invest into some defensive towers. So, yeah, man, like, you've got to sort this out. You've got to stop the villagers from coming forward if you are Team Onimaru, and I guess that would kind of be on Andy, because Andy's having the free game over here. I would say you could play scouts and maybe boom, but it doesn't feel like Andy's produced too many. He's just produced a couple spearmen. But there isn't a lot you could really do except boom over there, to be honest. But I think, like, having a couple scouts would at least prevent Lix moving forward. If you prevent Lix from moving forward and you prevent Yo from moving forward, I think that's a good thing. Jordan's on water, killing some fishing ships from Vivi. Nice work from Jordan. Castle Age is coming in. Villagers still running around this way from Vivi. Nishar, good morning. Finny, what's up? Thanks for the resub. They're sharing golds here. And look at Yo's castle spot. If this goes up, it's surely game over, right? It's going to go up. I mean, unless Doubt Panic Towers right now and Jordanville fights it, that castle's going up, right? It doesn't look like there's much of a reaction from Doubt. Nice work here from LY. Is my chat bugged right now, or are people just, like, super duper chill? Sorry, okay, I think we're good, actually. I think chat's just super, super chill. Unlike Doubt's nerves right now. You guys are chill. Cool. All good. All good. All good. Asleep already? How dare you? Doubt's eco looks messy. Doubt just bought a castle, and Doubt's going to try and drop a castle on Vivi's face, but Vivi's villager's standing there, and Doubt's going to drop it there. And now Vivi is going to immediately react with a tower. Thing is, Doubt's building this with pretty much his whole eco. So I'm pretty sure Doubt's castle is going to go up. Doubt has 28 vills. He's building this with, at least initially, it was 24. He does lose 2 of them. And now Vivi's going to run, and he's got to get out of here quickly. So Vivi might be out of this game. That could be really good for Team Onimaru. Vivi deletes his TC. Oh, yeah, he's still in feudal. So he actually just deletes his TC. And no, like, aggressive castle from Lix, which is a little bit surprising. He's just booming. He will play in towards a castle. But, I mean, if you compare Doubt's situation to Vivi's situation, Doubt's obviously in the better position, right? Doubt's in Castle Age. Doubt has his own castle to contribute. So Vivi is in a rough spot. I still think Jordan and Doubt have this space issue. Like, they're right smack dab in the middle of the map, and they'll just be completely surrounded. That's going to be really annoying. But hopefully by then they can receive a lot of help here from freaking Andy. Yo, Etched with 10 gifted. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. Now, there's just a period. I mean, it was a crazy game with castle drops. I just thought chat was chill was too chill for the action that was happening here. So, thank you so much, Etched. Yeah, Doubt's gotta like get a TC up because like Lix is right here, bro. Like Lix, if he drops a castle, he could be right on that wood line. Knights are gonna be out from Andy, so I guess you can't move too far forward. Game's still even despite the fact that Vivi's TC had to be deleted and everything. Yo, what's up, Derek? Says T90, you the man? No, you the man, Derek. Thank you, man. Yeah, I like this castle from Lakes. I mean, Yo is making Hussite wagons, which could be a really tough unit to deal with long term. Especially in the hands of Yo. Though he doesn't have the best economy. It's still manageable. Lakes, like, look at this. Like, Doubt, brother, bro, dude. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Doubt's building his TC here. Remember, he's losing his starting one. And he's going to lose a bunch of vills here. And then it's going to complete. And there's a castle on this side. And he canceled it at like 80%, bro. He doesn't know where to go. They can't go to the north because Yo is there. They can't go this way because Lix is here. You can't go down here because there's a tower that's walled in with vills inside. Like, where do you actually go? I think you have to just maybe town center so you can shoot this tower down. But this is horrendous for Doubt. And horrendous, it's starting to become horrendous for Jordan because Jordan is also surprised. Or, sorry, not surprised, surrounded. Wrong S word. Still warming up this morning. Hawks are on the shoreline here. That's Doubt's protection. Beyond that, he doesn't really have much protection at all. And he looks hopeless. He looks like he's not having a good time. Kind of looks like he just wants to find Vivi and, like, tower rush Vivi. And Vivi almost seems to expect something. But they've got Jordan and Doubt in their sights constantly. And then Andy over here, he wasn't able to prevent the castle drop from coming onto his team with like any scouts or knights, which I think was the main way he could affect the game. And he's trying to boom, but he's getting disrupted now as well. This is looking pretty disastrous for Onimaru. I think, like, it's safe to say that the TCs being in the middle and two players being together ended up not working out here for Doubt and for Jordan, right? Like, LY just had him completely surrounded. And they've made it look pretty easy here. Town Center's going to go up there for Jordan. So the game plan is, like, take that gold. Town Center's going up here, like, oh, God, it's so painful. It's my job to talk about this and show you this, but I cannot stand the inefficiencies. Oh my God. And then as well, it's not like it's just random palisade walls. Like, Jordan needs these houses. He needs that blacksmith, and you kind of have to ask him to delete it. Yo, trying to castle drop Andy. Maybe got a little too excited there. And that castle gets denied. A couple villagers go down. More villagers could go down. There's still a rocket card here. It's I'm amazed that Yo thought that this was okay. I'm guessing he didn't know about the rocket cart the first time, but now he sees the rocket cart. And Mr. Yo needs to back off big time. There's not many things that make me happier than seeing someone get a gifted sub and then immediately thank the sub gifter. That makes me happy. Doesn't always happen. Scout here from Vivi. Come on, Andy. You got to be able to defend from the scout. He's got the Fire Lancer there. This would be the third attempt on the same castle here for Mr. Yo. He just wants to complete. I think if you complete this castle, it gives you the stone and gold and you're fine. I doubt placing a forward castle on Lix because he knows he needs to do damage. But, like, he's at 39 vills. Lix is at 100. And Lix is on the way to Imperial Age, so can simply tread that down. Yo's castle will complete. Jordan and Doubt in very rough positions here. And it feels like they're going to just die to Licks, right? Like, yo, he's just going to keep fighting this battle against Andy. But that might not end up mattering as much as Licks being in the Imperial Age. And Licks is seen as the chaotic one, but I think Vivi, his presence was chaotic enough. Still in feudal, by the way. So still hasn't clicked up to Castle Age, but he's done really well. Like, there's always... I haven't been able to touch on it as much, but there's always another tower. There's always random scouts lurking around. Like, he has made it really, really awkward for the other team. I'm a little surprised to see that mr.yo didn't go for redemption here. Chat, let's do a test. I want to see what the stream delay is like at the higher quality. If you hear this, say hello. I stressed myself out. I didn't know what word to use there. Hello. Okay, so that was pretty much the same. It definitely seems like when I go live initially, people don't get the notification as fast as before I was doing 1440p streams. But that seems pretty much the same as what I'm used to. Andy's trying to push with Rams here. Again, maybe that can work. Rams and a castle. Crazy play there from Andy. Big worries for Doubt and big worries for Jordan. Because Licks is going to be saying hello. Licks is getting... What's this tech called, guys? Can you say it? Bottom left. It's called El Dorado. Okay? Till the end of time. That will always be El Dorado. It's not whatever that says. They changed it recently. Maybe I should respect the changes. But El Dorado is a classic tech. That's what I'm going to refer to it as. That adds the extra HP on the Eagles. And, well, Doubt's dropping more castles. Respect. We'll see if he can quick wall and get this one to complete. Doubt gets his quick walls. I don't know if that castle's going to stay up for very long. Like, in theory for Doubt, if you delay your death and disrupt Licks as much as possible, then maybe Andy can win the game for you. Yo got his castle denied over here. Andy is going to be in the Imperial Age, so that much is good. But, like, Elite Eagle Warriors with El Dorado, man, 100 HP is insane. You do not have the units designed to stop this. And Jordan is here as well. So, yeah, good luck. I still don't think Yo actually matters this game. Well, okay, that's really disrespectful. He does still matter. He certainly matters more than, like, Vivi does at this stage. But I think Vivi could just kind of 1v3 at the moment. Like, Trebs are going to be out. Doubt's still trying to drop some towers here. Yo just has to keep... He has to keep Andy occupied. Maybe it's a little closer than I'm realizing, though, because with Andy being imp... Like, Andy being imp is a really big deal when Yo hasn't even clicked up yet. But yeah, I love how Vivi's in here with the Eagles contributing. Vivi's dropping a tower in here because he just knows he can. Yeah, I mean, these Eagles are just massacring them. There's going to be 60 Eagles soon. And they're going to be everywhere. Just keep an eye on the Vil count for Jordan and for Doubt. Not the start you want, guys. So for me, I'm a little bit different, right? Like, every player is a little different. But for me, I'm very hit or miss on the day. And I think for someone like Doubt, that could be the case as well. And starting a series like this, where you've just been horrendously surrounded and castle dropped and, you know, running into your ally, like, this can really bleed into the next games. So, let's hope for them it doesn't. Let's just hope it's a bad start to the series. And they could start to snag some wins after this, but this is extremely good for LY. Did Doubt even play bad? I feel like it was unlucky Nomad start. Well, that's the thing, right? I think it amplifies the position, and everything didn't help. And it makes it very difficult, and, you know, from there, you just kind of question everything because they're just behind, but... I don't know. To me, it felt like Vivi... They got exactly what they wanted, right? Like, they wanted one person disrupting two, and then they just... LY just completely surrounded them. But feels like even Onimaru is in shock still. They're at 170 pop versus 370. Andy's just getting deleted from the map now as well. Doubt's at 16 vills. They still haven't called the GG. And there is the GG. And LY takes the first game. So yeah, it's a weird one, right? Like, you look at this and you might be like, oh man, bad for Vivi. No, good for Vivi, because Vivi was able to, like, harass and start the annoyance of these two. There should be better communication there. Like, maybe this was their plan. But in a 9-villager start, guys, you start with all these groups of 3. So in a normal Nomad start, that can just happen. Here, though, you got group of 3, you got group of 3, you got group of 3. So I feel like the fact that they TC'd on each other is a mistake. Unless you think that's good, right? And if you think that's good, then, okay, well, this is the result. LY punished it perfectly. But they needed to do something more to combat Vivi. Maybe they needed to have Jordan in Feudal Age. Also, my point, like, Yo walked a long way to build this castle on the front. There was no resistance whatsoever. So I think they needed Andy with scout support. And I think he was trying to do that, but he never really made that many scouts at the time he would have needed to. So, yeah, chalk it up to Nomad things. You could just say, okay, it was Nomad. Maybe we don't need to hit the panic switch just yet for Onimaru Vanguard, but first game goes to, LY, which I will have to fix. All right. So, probably the worst map to speed up on if there's going to be a Vil fight. Looks like there's not going to be a Vil fight right now. That was fully expecting that. Welcome, we've got Men in D Game 2. We just kind of looked through the stakes. Onimaru Vanguard, they need some wins. Like, they cannot lose this series and have hopes of getting into the top 4, which is the goal for all the 9 teams in the main event. So, we got Doubt. He's moved forward right away with the Incas. He's going to take all the food and then just move away from it. Doubt's in the red. In the yellow, then, we've got Jordan. And then in the purple, we've got Andy. It's a weird generation here. Typically, it's a bit more front to back. Like, weird side generations, which can happen. In the blue, we got Lix. Lix is playing as the Teutons. My guess right now is Lix is going to go crazy with the Tower Rush. He's already on stone in here. In the green, we've got Vivi. Oh, shoot, guys. Why'd no one tell me? Scoreboard was wrong. Vivi's playing as the Britons. And then in the teal, we got Hindustanis for Yo. So Yo will probably go, like, scouts, long-term camels. We got Vivi, who will probably go for archers. And then Lix is chaos mode. And here comes Mr. Chaos. Jordan's going to go archers. He's already building the archery range here. And then I was going to assume that Andy would go for some type of, like, scout play. But Andy is adding some fish right now. And maybe going for a fast castle. But here comes the Tower Rush. The chaos starts here. Lix is an amazing player for this. Lix is going to be low score the entire game, probably like Vivi was in the previous game. Does not matter to him as long as he's able to slow down the others. I don't know if Jordan's archer range is being here is very good. Like, and look, he's uncertain. He's like, do I even complete this range? He cancels it at 65%. Huh? Why are they deleting buildings on such high HP? Lix almost completed that tower. Now he deletes it too? I would have just built that tower, then build another tower. But I think he's going to start to attack Jordan's archer range there. Does anyone else feel like it's been a weird series so far? I mean, the first game was weird. The first game was absolutely weird, but that's just Nomad. So let's calm it down a little bit. I definitely feel like Jordan and Doubt were really uncertain of what to do in the first game, and now you're looking at this situation where, like, Jordan's going to lose his archer range, and things are going to go a little bit different than what he would have wanted. Like, losing the archer range when your goal is to go archers, not so good. So far, so good for Lix, honestly. Yo has the stable, so he'll be coming in with scouts. Also has the Hindustani stable bonus, so you could just take down buildings so much faster. And then Doubt's on the way to Castle Age. Wow. Doubt's going fast castle, and he's super YOLO on stone. So Doubt's gonna... Doubt's gonna try and drop a castle, I guess. So we'll see. Kimara says, hey, T90, you wanted to stream every day from YouTube now. YouTube has more quality than this. Can you tell me why you decided against it? Okay, so first off, YouTube quality would be the exact same. As far as I know, if I stream anything more than 1440 on YouTube, there's downsides, so it should be the exact same. I'm still planning on streaming on YouTube more, but I'm having a couple hiccups on the back end, so I'll hopefully fix those and then we'll move on YouTube. That's basically the simplified answer. But there might be like slight differences in how you guys can enjoy. Like some people load certain platforms better, but the quality would be 1440p there as well. It shouldn't be any different. Here comes Doubt. And Jordan's gonna escort him. I mean, if you're trying to get to Yo, you're crazy. He's actually gonna try and get to Yo? Okay. Doubt has brought 10 vills. There are archers. There are spears. And I mean, but Yo's gonna see this. I guess he does have the archers, the spearmen, and the villagers to deal with. So Yo's got a decision to make. But, like, it's extremely obvious. And Doubt's thinking about it. He knows he's been spotted. Yo thought about what to do there. Started to build a tower. Yo doesn't have armor yet. If they can get a castle up on Yo, this could be so good. Yo seems uncertain. That's a really poor engagement for Mr. Yo. A really bad engagement. He's hesitant. And Doubt might be able to get this castle up. This is a crazy castle, but it's an amazing castle. This will complete. Nice teamwork. You had the scouts come in from Andy. You had the spears there as well. And even though it's Doubt building it, I think this castle will complete. Meanwhile, castle from Vivi. And he dropped it on Doubt's face and said, no, maybe I'll go somewhere else. And he is going to actually drop it here. I really would have liked him to drop it over on this side where Lix is, which is maybe what he was considering. You could hit Jordan. Man, castles galore this series, man. Castles galore. T90, why don't you stream on Instagram? It is better chat. I'll consider it. I didn't know that. I didn't know you felt that way. I assume you're joking. Andy's got, I'm going to say, a free game with air quotes here. He's got a free game in the sense that he hasn't been attacked yet. Same with Vivi. This castle doesn't actually range Yo's TC. So it's not nearly as strong as I thought it was going to be initially. Doubt's got to go somewhere with these vills, and Yo might be keeping an eye out for that. Longbowmen, they're going to start to make their way towards the middle here, and that's where Andy's got the fishing ships. So, like, if they don't protect this area, this could be really bad. And Jordan's trying to build a gate here, but it's not in time. He's not going to complete that gate. Andy's not necessarily prepared to build a tower either, so... T90, can you stream on Facebook? Now, I would never, ever do such a thing. Who would ever stream on Facebook? Only sellouts and boomers stream on Facebook. That's not me. And towers are going up from Lix. He honestly might TC drop. But the other time I saw TC drop was from Heart. And the second you delete your TC, you allow that opening in towards the fish. And Doubt just kind of, feels like he did his job with his castle, but again, the castle doesn't look nearly as effective as Vivi's castle, and Vivi's actually in a state to make units out of his castle. That's the thing, there's just like really effective military positions for LY right now. Military numbers are fine for Onimaru, but I think Jordan needs to get to Castle Age, and then once Jordan's in Castle Age, all these archers actually contribute. Where are Jordan's archers even? He's got 8 archers inside of his TC right now. And the other archers, I'm not sure. We got Andy down here just fighting some of Lix's vills. But I feel like Jordan just hasn't really been a presence because he's been so disrupted by Lix. And I think Lix has just got so comfortable not seeing army from him, and Jordan says, hello. Nice job there from Jordan. Kills 5 of those vills. Maybe it was 3 more. Towers could still go up, though. Siege there from Doubt to help against the Longbowmen. The archers also came in this way from Jordan. Archers are significantly worse than Longbowmen, though. And Jordan does lose all of his archers. Probably focused here. And now he wants to take these towers down. He's going to try and rush this. Lix with a little bit of walling. Now, Vivi brings his Longbowman over. Jordan might not be able to finish this. And Jordan's got a lot of his archers stuck between the towers. Oh, what a miserable position. Also, misclicks there. He tries to click away, clicks the market. Miserable position for Jordan. Oh, my goodness. These towers have done so much. Meanwhile, Yo's going to make it to Castle Age because he never lost his town center. So he's, all things considered, pretty fine. I don't know if Lix will make it to Castle Age super soon, but when he does, as we see a signal down here, they really want to deal with Lix's stone. When Lix makes it to Castle Age, these towers could get even better upgrades. And Yo will drop town center number 2 in the back. It's just been a weird series, man. It's been a weird series. But I think that's what you want if you're LY. Like, I feel like if you bring chaotic stuff against anybody in the world, you're one of the best teams out there. So, look, the longbowmen are actually inside of the tower shooting all these extra arrows onto the TC. That's really cool. Like Drazzle says, I feel for Andy because his team is just dying all the time. Yeah, but like in team games, all that communication has to be there, right? So like in theory, and I kind of feel for Andy after the first game especially. In theory, Andy should be there in support of whatever the strat is, right? Jordan's had a rough start, but he's going to make it to Castle Age. Like, Andy isn't... The issue is he's got people trying to play hyper-aggressive, and they need a little bit of support, and then Andy's led to boom. I say that he's had knights and camels down here, so I don't know. It's tough. I think it's a close game. It just feels like Vivi can do no wrong right now, and they need to stop Vivi. Because we know mr.yo is going to boom back into this game. He's going to have a really good economy. They just can't stop these longbows, man. And the issue, too, is I think part of Andy's boom, as they break through there with the petard, part of what they wanted is they wanted the fishing ships here, right? That's such a big focus on this map, and now they're in, and you couldn't commit to the fish in the first place. You try and land the attack rounds, and it doesn't really do enough. And look at all the villagers in here, bro! Oh, my goodness. Yeah, just want a little pond check here for Yo. Yo's got all those fishing ships crammed in there on fish traps, giving him lots of eco. Not a good start for Onimaru Vanguard. I think the dock will actually go down before the demo even comes out, so we won't even get a demo there. And Lix has kind of done the job, but he's going to try and siege push from this side as well. And Jordan, I mean, how many archers has he lost to these towers, man? He just can't get rid of these towers. Murder holes is in. Guard towers is going to be it. This is painful. This is over. This is over. Jordan's going to lose so much here. Yeah, dock will go down. Yeah, guard towers in. The towers here have 17 kills this game. 18 kills. Soon going to be more than that, I'm sure. And Andy's disrupted. Doubt's disrupted. Towers have 21 kills now. Camels come in to take the ram. With the way this game is going, that ram's going to go down too. Oh, my God. It's so painful. Oh, man. LY are just destroying them. Just destroying them. Okay, we do have a raid here, which Yo didn't notice. So Yo's clearly distracted right now. So nice raid from Andy. They need some type of counter damage. This could start to add up. This is really annoying for Yo. I think Yo can just bring a couple camels back and deal with this, though. I mean, Jordan has yet to be very effective in the series, and he's down to 37 pop right now. Yeah, I think this is fine for Yo. I think it's super avoidable. I don't know exactly why he was surprised so much, but he probably was trying to support Lix. We still want to keep fighting here. Population say it's pretty close, especially after you get big damage in against Yo like that. You want to keep fighting. You do still have the forward castle. I just feel like Doubt's boom. The fact that he's booming towards the enemy is wild. And now a forward castle for Vivi. And Vivi just researched treadmill crane to build faster. I didn't get it until I see this castle's coming up. And there we go. Castle's going to go up. Lost a couple vills, but castle completes. So now that's even more pressure on Andy. And another castle where he could make longbowmen from. There's no counter to the longbowmen, by the way. They don't have military. Onimaru Vanguard doesn't have military. They're surrounded by towers. They're surrounded by castles. Like, this is horrible. And if Doubt gets spotted over here, like, they're never expecting this. If Doubt gets spotted over here, this just gets castled or siege pushed, right? Like, all those vills being exposed is going to be such a problem. Pretty soon, Jordan's going to lose his town center. I feel like Jordan's had archers inside of his town center more than he's had them outside of his town center because he doesn't know what to do with them. T90, wouldn't Lewis Andy swap have made at least one Onimaru team strongest? You mean putting Lewis on this team? Are you saying that putting Lewis on this team would make them the strongest? Because if that's your statement, I would disagree with that. Or are you saying Andy being with the others makes sense? No, I think the way that they've set up their teams is really good. I know it's not looking good right now for Onimaru Vanguard, but I think that like Tato, Viper, and Vinchester are clearly the best three on the team, so they have to be together, and it's kind of unfair. Like, a lot of players want to get the experience, they want to play. So as Vivi's trying to petard back these Rams just to hold, and he might lose this castle. Yeah, I like the teams. Andy, Doubt, and Jordan, they looked amazing in the qualifier. I just think the main event, the level's higher, and they just haven't really been able to put their ideas to work. The issue with Lewis is Lewis doesn't have team game experience. And all, like, Doubt, Jordan, Viper, Tato, we're talking, like, 10 plus years of team game experience and synergy. So it's really hard to fit there. Castle from Licks. Crazy. Crazy. And he was dropping a castle here to try and stop this pain. Licks is dropping a 6-villager castle, and what can they do about it? Oh my god, and now Doubt's dropping a castle, and now Yo's dropping a castle. And now we got the Mangonel coming this way from Licks. That will be too late. Yo will be in the Imperial Age. Vivi will be in the Imperial Age. Vivi lost this castle. But Doubt needs to ram this down because he's not in Imp. And, oh, man, they're going to run at this. Oh, God. Oh, God. They're trying to stop this. Oh, God. Bro. Oh, the tower is enough. Well, actually, tower is getting shot by the castle. So maybe this castle gets denied. Hold up. Castle is only at 70%. Nice shot from Andy to realize that. I guess he researched Bodkin. Vivi, or Licks, sorry, gets the castle denied at 70%. All right. Really crazy map just with the positioning of it. It feels like a very random game, but right through the center is still for the taking. The fact that Andy is still here and they're not raiding him there is pretty wild. And Doubt's going for petards. Doubt's going for rams. Again, Doubt's boomed forward. Like, he expanded his eco towards mr.yo. Like, this was always going to be the reality, in my opinion. That he was always going to get found and lose these vills. I think if Doubt expanded his eco fully to the north, maybe he could make it to Imp at some stage, and then he could play into Champies and, like, try and contribute. But, like, the inevitable has happened. And Doubt using his petards just on the elephant rams there. But there's going to be trebs as well from Yo. Looking rough, dude. Looking rough. T90, if you had to choose 2 pro players to play team tournaments, who would you pick? The GGs are called here. Let me answer that question after we conclude this game. LY just did such an amazing job. Licks, the setup with the towers. The castle didn't even need to complete over here. Didn't matter. 24 kills on those towers. Vivi's castle drop as well. Like, Vivi had an incredible game with the longbowman and the castle drops, just pushing nonstop. Yo, he got castle dropped, but even then, like, the castle, it wasn't actually that bad. Like, the castle never ranged his town center. It didn't actually disrupt him. They wanted that castle to be more aggressive, and Yo just kind of boomed into the game. Nice camel support when need be, and made it to the Imperial Age to go for the carry now. But I don't know, man. Just not the start you would want here for Onimaru Vanguard. the weirder maps are out of the way. I don't know what the other maps look like, but maybe they need a little bit more structure right now. The first game was Nomad, now Men in D, lots of weird town center positions. They have not been able to manage the crazy so far. All right, so this is a map that has a little bit more chaos. And I'm sure, especially with Licks being in here, that he's going to try and achieve that. But I think this is one which has a little bit more structure, which is maybe what Onimaru needs. Game 1 being Nomad was a problem. Game 2, you know, with the TC spots. And then the previous game as well, just really, really awkward to play. This is Cape of Storms. Now, you've got the hilly water. Everyone say, ooh, ah. We got hills on water. There is hill bonuses there. So water's plays a big role here because you're going to have multiple players docking here. Maybe even all three. But the players in the north are very far from the water. So sometimes you'll see a player in Yo's position or Doubt's position choose not to dock. And we have the Khmer for Doubt, which tells me he's probably going to consider going for scouts. And with 5 on wood, I think that Doubt is also going to send a villager and probably try and dock. And he's on the way now. Jordan will definitely dock. Jordan's got Italians, which really makes you think he's going to play archers. But I guess Italians could go knights. Typically, the middle player plays scouts into knights, excuse me. But Onimaru has been a little bit different. And same with LY. They like to play scouts from the northern positions. Still think, like, Vivi's obviously going to play scouts. He's gone Lithuanians. I'd expect him to try and get these relics eventually. +1 attack on every for every relic you bring in is crazy strong for their knights. Andy's Armenian, so you could play heavy on water. He's gone really far forward with this dock. Holy. He walked a long distance for that. Like, look at the walking distance from that dock to this TC, and then, like, if he would have docked here. So clearly that might be part of his plan. And, yeah, I think Man-at-Arms could be an option, but also you could just play very strong Navy numbers. I'd expect Licks to probably mix in some Man-at-Arms, play some Archers, and, like, try and mix in some Navy as well. It's a really tough position to play on the front because, like, you're protecting Jordan if you're Andy, both on water and on land. And you also need to protect Doubt now because Doubt's also got the dock here, so. Yeah, the southern corner does have this little rocky terrain with some ruins. You can't actually land here and dock here. That only becomes important if teams want to use trade cogs on the water, which we actually have seen, so. But otherwise, that land is not particularly useful. There was a question from chat, and I missed it earlier, and now it's bothering me. But I guess there's a bunch of questions. What's up, guys? Also, I don't know what's standardized for this map, but I'm noticing more and more that there's a lot of boars. So I think every player could get 3, but I don't know how that's supposed to be set up. Like, look, Jordan's still bringing in a boar. Okay, so it's supposed to be 3 boars per player plus 4 deer. All right, got it. That's a lot of food income, then. That's not bad. Like the scouting from Andy, it's really important to scout it. Like, if you're not going to go Man-at-Arms yourself, that's fine, but you have to know what's coming so you can communicate that to the team. I get immensely frustrated if someone just gets surprised by Man-at-Arms on these types of maps. Especially with the civs at play here. It's almost expected. And you can see, Licks is looking now, but Andy's not going for it. Andy's just walling up, and it has a lot to wall. There's a barracks from Jordan, so Jordan's going to make the militia, so Jordan's going to try and go Man-at-Arms. Interesting. Doubt. Walling up a little bit. He's not up nearly as fast as Yo, but he did invest more into the fishing eco. And by more, I mean he just straight up added fishing eco, because Yo has not done that. Yo's going to add scouts with Jurchens, though, and have a timing advantage on getting the numbers out. Really greedy from Doubt, but if you can get these walls down and have the fish behind and match the scout numbers, maybe he'll be safe. Man-at-Arms are going to be moving forward for Licks. He'll get the upgrade any second, and the walls seem to be mostly completed here for Onimaru, which is kind of crazy. That's a lot of walling, man. But if they full wall this right now, I'll be very impressed. Are they full walled? No way they just got these walls down. That's ridiculous. Look at all this teamwork to make that happen. Remember, the goal for this, you have 9 teams. You want to be in the top 4. to move out of the group stage. And with the way things are looking for Onimaru Vanguard, like they probably need these 2 wins badly. If they were to lose the set 4-0, very unlikely they move into that top 4. For LY, on the flip side, LY want to be firmly cemented in that top 4. I'd have them as a top 4 team in AoE, so every game's super valuable to them too, of course. Yeah, they probably can't believe that they're not through here, because I can't believe that these walls actually completed. It's amazing from Andy, Jordan, and Doubt to complete these walls. The Man-at-Arms are just knocking on the door. And then on the flip side, you got Jordan. Jordan's going for the super late Man-at-Arms rush. But he can actually get value from it. Oh, nice quick wall from Licks. Wow. Crazy quick walls from Licks. But still, I mean, that's value. That's harassment. That's annoyance. Archers are going to have to chase that. Are you worried for Vitality right now? I don't think worried is the word. I'm not surprised that they're just not... that they've gotten surprised by some strats. Like, Vitality have talented players, but they're just not as, like, overall as creative, in my opinion. So, I think stylistically, they ran into some problems because, like, Tag had come out with some really cool strategies, and then LY is a little bit more chaotic than they're maybe used to dealing with. I think they got plenty of time to figure it out and still get into the top 4. It's one of those things, like, the best time to play Vitality is probably first, and the teams have taken advantage of it. Because over time, people are going to find out a little bit more about the maps, right? Okay, so knocking on the walls over here. Scouts are engaging in the north. Andy's on water, and this has been it's been a tough time for Licks, right? He had to chase the Man-at-Arms, and he's also tried to play water and land. So Andy's doing his job, and Andy will probably win water for the team, which means no fishing eco whatsoever for LY, which usually is not very good. Oh, wait, Man-at-Arms actually broke through? Okay, the Man-at-Arms got through somehow. I thought they had the full wall, and Doubt now is trying to get some walls down, and Doubt panicking a little bit. And he does have enough scouts to come back and clear this, but that's a little bit annoying. It's funny, I saw Mihai say... Mihai said, he said, Sato is the brain, we are the hands. So, he was just giving his teammate credit for all the ideas that Tag have been going for in the team game tournament. Guys, I don't know how these units get through. Like, they had the full wall down. The job is just, you never want to chase an army. And now you got Vivi here? What? Huh? Did he run through the same hole? They had the perfect start. How are there 2 armies in their base? I don't understand how the scouts came through unless they came through the same hole. This has been... Is there a hole here? Anyways, they clear it up. They should still be in a very good position here. But, like, this is one where I feel like the strategy has been incredible from them. They just got to get the execution right here, man. I can't let these armies in. mr.yo still knocking on Doubt's doorstep. Andy's on the way to Castle Age, though, and well played to Andy. I think Doubt having these 10 fishing ships back here this whole time really helps him. Should always be able to add a few more scouts. Should be able to clear this, push this back. Even though they got some value, I think LY, because they just don't have the water presence, they needed to kill more on land. They needed to push way faster than they were able to there. It's going to be 0 fishing ships working for Vivi. 0 created by mr.yo. And yeah, Vanguard's going to have full fishing eco. Jordan will be in Castle Age soon. He'll have crossbowmen. You can get ballistics quickly. Like, there's just no competing with these numbers, really. And Licks isn't in Castle Age yet because he's had a difficult time. They did get their own walls up behind this. So nice job there from LY. Basically, this is GG unless an army gets in and they somehow create a little bit of chaos. Like, this is completely game over unless this army breaks through. And Jordan's archers have to decide where to go. He's going to move to the north. I think they're going to be chasing there. The scout from Vivi is attacking Doubt. Doubt's going to realize that. Nice play. And they're in. All right. So Jordan's army, let's recap. It was here. It ran all the way down here. It went forward. And now it's turning around and running home to chase this army. Like, Doubt's army wanted to push. And now he's got to turn around and come home for this as well. Because this is his whole wood line. Lots of idle time. Like, so many idols on the wood line. Also lost track of the archers. There's no way, right? Like, Andy's in Castle Age already. Andy's going to have the ability to boom. Andy could also make land army in support if he wants. He could push. I think Jordan should be running at this right now. They should be jumping on top of this army. There's more archers there. Doubt's here with them. But now the scouts are coming in as well, man. Like, everything seems like it's a little bit of a struggle right now for Onimaru Vanguard. But they're going to get it. They're going to get it right. They're going to kill the archers. They will track this. It should be fine. They've got way more economy. I don't know if I'm being overly critical or not. Because they're winning this game. Just feels like they aren't quite as sharp as maybe some of the other teams. But that's why you need the base strategy to be really good, right? You need that to work well. And I think them winning the water so quickly through Andy was huge. And that's not going to lead to a winning fight for Yo. He's just buying himself time pretty much. I think he's going to try and play Cav Archers. Yep, he's got triple ranges at home. And Andy just booming in the back. Andy also starting to pick up the relics as quickly as possible in the middle. Dropping a siege workshop and dropping churches. So Andy's just typical Andy. He loves his monks. He loves his siege. 154 economy for Vanguard. 124 right now for LY. And no hope of really competing on the water. T90, can you explain the mentality of losing the water like that? Well, they went in their minds, they went super heavy land pressure, right? So, if you have your front player go fully to water, they should die on land in their mind, right? But because they got this massive wall up, they didn't. So the wall was huge. The wall was everything here. Because that man-at-arms and scouts and archers could have been continuously hitting Jordan, could have been continuously hitting Andy. But there was one or two instances, and it was honestly a mistake that it even was it was a reality. So yeah, the walls were huge. And I think that LY were expecting to punish on land way faster than they've been able to here. Now this is where it gets serious. Now they can actually break through some of these houses much faster. Break through town centers maybe, if the night numbers gets high enough. What I think, though, is I think the northern player should always add a dock. So the player in Doubt's position, docking was really smart, in my opinion. I know that Yo would eventually lost the fish, but I still feel like you should add some. That's a lot of light cat from Doubt. That's a lot of crossbowmen. Licks, he needs his numbers upgraded. And he's on the way to Imperial Age. I saw archers, and I was like, wait, he's not in Castle Age yet. And I saw the age, and I thought he just clicked. Wait, no, hold on. He canceled Imp now. He cancels Imp so we can get Crossbow and Bodkin. What? Okay. So he cancels Imp so we can get Crossbow and Bodkin Arrow. Now he's missing 30 gold to click Imp again. I mean, they know they're behind, and they're trying to go for something high risk, high reward. But, bro, you got to go Imp. Yeah, new TC needed. You can't go Imp in this TC. It's probably going to get pushed. Meanwhile, Andy's getting Caravan, by the way, as he's going to be trade cogging, which is crazy. But yeah, I don't know if LY can turn it around because all of the pressure is coming in now. Jordan's got a great setup behind this. Doubt's got an amazing setup behind this. And Andy pushing with the monks and the siege as well. This is the Vanguard that people are getting hyped about, man. Really good synergy here. Guys, I don't think Licks makes it to Imp because they're going to GG before. That's my prediction. He is on the way in this TC in the south, which probably won't be spotted. But I think, like, he's just going to lose everything before then. Might not have many units to upgrade. And the pressure could also get in through here to Vivi as well. Vivi was able to snag a relic or two, it seems. He snagged 2, so he's got some extra attack. But that is a lot of knights. That is a lot of crossbowmen. That's a castle now from Andy. The Cav Archers, Yo is trying. But Cav Archers feel really, really underwhelming against this many military units. It's just a numbers thing, right? Like, if he had 40 CA, I'd think a bit differently. He doesn't have enough right now. All right, TC will die. Knights dying for Vivi. Cav Archers dying for Yo. Even though he is trying to stack them up there in the woodlines. And we could see another castle from Andy pretty soon if he wants to drop it even further. They have found the TC down here. Maybe they just push this. But I don't mind pushing that. You could also just push here. I don't really... Like, all these options are fine options. I was wrong on them calling the GG. Like it from Andy. He's dropping stone walls. You know, just in case. If the game goes on longer, just in case. Nice clear up from Yo in the middle. He actually did clear up some army there. Like, can Lix even get an upgrade? He'll make it to Imp. Will he have archer ranges to upgrade to Arbalest? Okay, he's getting Bracer out of a new blacksmith he just built. Again, it looks bad. It's actually a really good attempt here because you need a tech advantage. You're not going to have a numbers or an eco advantage. No archer range gaming for Lix. He's got these 15 crossbowmen. That's it. Soon, no town center gaming. Well, I guess he is building another one. So a couple raids up here from Doubt. Castle coming up from Andy on Lix. Jordan's on the way to the Imperial Age now as well. If you have the time, I think what you should do is you should transport and build a dock here. I saw a team do it, and then your trade cogs aren't running along the shoreline, which can be killed by crossbows. It's like, you're going to have trade cogs run in weird spots. But that's a tiny detail you don't really focus on too heavily when you're in the game. Andy has played amazing, I agree. But from LY's perspective, they lost water far too easily. They needed to kill on land much faster. Vivi's in with knights. Confused as to how, because I keep thinking their team is fully walled, and I think Jordan was thinking that he was fully walled. There's been good opportunities for LY to surprise, I guess. And yeah, Doubt's got to come all the way home. This is unnecessary damage taken. Nice job for Vivi and from Yo to get through. They're killing a lot in both economies, too. They did damage to Jordan. Jordan's army's on the way home. And Jordan's got to, again, delete a hole in his own wall to come back. It makes you wonder how they got in the first place. I still think that Onimaru Vanguard are going to be okay here. Yes, they're taking damage. Yes, you could consider it unnecessary. But Andy's in the Imperial Age. Andy's going to be killing Vivi. Imp will be in for Jordan. So his archers will be upgraded, and he can help stabilize things for Doubt, because Doubt's having a bit of a rough time. And there's no real push from Lix, because he doesn't really have much economy. He's going to try, though. But I think Vivi's going to be next to die up against Andy's push. Yeah, I feel like I almost want to ask Hardy to edit in question marks over the archers for Jordan. Just put them over their heads for the whole game. I'm not going to do that to him. But there's been a little bit of confusion for Jordan. Like, what direction am I going with the archers? But, again, the economy's strong. The numbers are there. The walls have been up for the most part. Town center's going down. Andy's like, I like this base. I'm going to steal it. I'm going to convert your best villagers, bring them to my side. Thank you very much. And GG called, and Vanguard get a win. A huge win, actually. And next game is all the more interesting, too, because of the tournament format. If you win the series, you get an extra point, which means if this ends up being 2-2, LY is left 2 points on the table. Obviously, for Vanguard at this point, you can't get a bonus point. You can't win the series, but you can at least get the point from the next win. But we'll see. Yeah, good. Clean game from Jordan. Clean game from Andy. I just think that the water was lost far too easily from LY's perspective, and they needed to coordinate better to stop these walls. They needed to pressure the walls. They did get through every so often, I think because of maybe some slight mistakes from Doubt and Jordan letting them through. But, like, I think you just got to stop the wall in the first place. That's what the Man-at-Arm build is designed to do. Full credit to Vanguard, though, because, like, who could have thought that they could have coordinated that level of wall that fast? Well played. All right, here we are. Thanks, Windows 11. Yeah, is it a Windows 11 issue? I don't know. Maybe it is. Have you tried reconnecting the cables? Yes and no. I didn't do it to fix it before, so I didn't feel like I had to do it anymore. The scouts meet in the middle. We've got Komodo dragons out here. There's a lot of RNG involved. Jordan's trying to trap the Komodo dragon. That villager is super weak for Jordan, and he has no loom. And Lix is going to run forward and snipes the villager. Yikes start here for Jordan. It's a weird map. Like, the meta here is players are always running to the front. They'll take the risk to try and get the elephants, even though they have the extra hunt. So, I don't think you would see people run forward quite as fast if it was a 3-villager start instead of a 9-villager start. But I'll tell you, like, that's not the start you would have wanted for Jordan on the front. He's already going to have a tough time against Lix because Lix is going to be mixing in scouts with the Magyars most likely. Vivi, playing as the Berbers on this side, would expect him to spam some Cav all game, which he's very good at. And then Yo is down here playing as the Cumans. I was wondering where he's going to play this Civ. Can he actually go for a 2TC boom on this map? I've never seen that. But usually you wouldn't see the Cumans picked for any other reason. So my guess is he'll probably add a fishing ship or two and then consider the fast feudal into a TC. There's Doubt. Doubt really wants to deny this dock. He can deny this dock still. It's going to be close. Doubt trying to reposition. Oh, Doubt needs his kill. And he gets it. Doubt will take that every single time, right? Doubt's got his dock up already. He's making a fishing ship. And Villager went down. And the dock is delayed for Yo, so that's a really nice advantage for Doubt. Speaking of docks, we have a dock at the middle from Lix, still bringing in more food. I would hate to play the front position on this map. This must be so difficult. Like, I would never be out here taking these elephants. Super annoying. Quick walling against Komodo dragons. But, yeah, both players docking here. So I guess they want the docks for the food, maybe, for the fish? A little surprising, though. Oh, and wow, Dock Villager also down over here. Now, the dock had completed, but nice job there from Andy. Vivi also slightly pop-capped. It feels like Onimaru Vanguard have woken up a little bit here. Game 4. T90, I just used duct tape to fix my sink. I feel ashamed of myself. Why are you ashamed? You fixed the problem. Hold on, question. Do you live alone, or do you have a family or a partner? Because... if I was a single guy, I'd have no issue using duct tape to just fix a problem if it got the solution. But I think I'm not sure my fiance would be quite as proud of or quite as happy with a duct tape fix, depending on how it looks. My girlfriend is at work; she'll never know. Okay, but she will come home from work eventually, right? Like, or does she just live at work? Is it... I want more details on the sink. Did you fix, like, the faucet? The visual part? Or is it, like, underneath the sink that no one sees? Because then if that's the case, no one cares. Either way, I'm proud of you. Congratulations on being a handyman. It's hidden? Ah, you're fine then, yeah. No worries. I actually have tape on one of my cables in my setup right now. My PC. And maybe that's why we're having weird issues. But no, it was to fix another issue, which... Super, super fun. Super fun. Super excited about it, guys. I love technology. Double dock from Andy to the surprise of no one, because he loves his water. So he'll probably go for the water play. Vivi, I'm assuming, is going to do the same over here. Just hasn't built the second dock yet. Was expecting scouts, but Lix is actually going to go fast castle Magyar Hussar from the front position here. And Jordan is going to go fast castle as well? And I guess that's why they're hunting for all this food. But Jordan's going to play fire archers, I feel. I mean, what other option is he going to have if he's going for a castle? What a weird game. We got 2 TC feudal boom here from Yo. We got fast castle into a castle drop from Lix. And then Vivi. Honestly, I think Vivi's going fast castle as well, the more I think about it. Dowd is going to add some hulks on water. And just try and eliminate the fishing from Yo's situation here. But Yo's adding a hulk, so he'll be on water a little bit longer than Doubt would like. A little surprised that Doubt's not going 2 docks here. Like, I think Andy's approach is really good. You go 2 docks, you clear water fast, and then you can add fish right behind it. I don't know why Doubt's just on 1 dock if he's not on, like, archers. Unless I'm missing something. He's going for a blacksmith now, too. I guess he just wants to rush to Castle Age. But yeah, if anyone has any genuine ideas, nice blocking there from Andy. He's so good on water. And he's going to add a couple fire ships. He'll clear up the dock pretty quickly. And then he can add the fish. Yeah, people have ideas or thoughts on what issues I'm experiencing. You could maybe say something in the Discord and I could reach out for help later. To be honest, though, Hardy has been really helpful, so... Hardy here to fix the overlays, edit the videos, and give me tech advice when need be. What are your thoughts on fishing ships garrison? I don't like it. I also don't like that. I think either or. Like, if you're going to garrison, you shouldn't get the arrows as well. But speaking of Hardy, Hardy's hopefully going to edit the video I will record on that topic, because I've been meaning to do that for a while. But it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. What's the issue again? There's this slight pop. Like, you could barely hear it. But if you listen to my microphone, there's a slight little boop, little pop. That's what we're talking about. And it was happening the other day. I tested a bunch of stuff with my mixer and everything. And it didn't change anything. And then I just restarted my PCs and then it was gone. So now today it's back. Again, having changed nothing. So, from my perspective, I'm a little confused as to why it's happened, you know. But apparently some people subscribe for this that are watching for this, so it works out. We got to pay close attention to see where Lix builds his castle right now. And Jordan's going to be building this castle as well. Sounds like a Windows bug? Maybe, I don't know. They have to know they're both going for a castle, right? Because it's been extremely quiet. Jordan's going to castle there. If he was up against scouts, that would be crazy risky. But that's a really good castle spot. Protects the shoreline, protects the hill in front of your base. He will wall up just in case. And there's the castle there from Lix. Are demo ships out of meta? Why is Vivi building the other navy he's getting no value from? Demos have been nerfed. So demos, most pros are going to consider demos not really to be an option. So yes, they're out of meta. And that's another thing I could mention in the video is just kind of my overall thought. I think the water, there's a lot of positive changes to what they made with the water, but there's also a lot of negative changes I didn't really enjoy either. So 2 TCs for Doubt. So he made it to Castle Age very quickly, but it's been 2 TCs already for Yo for a long time down here. And like, he never lost fish. Like, I think Doubt should have cleared him off of water. I guess the fishing eco isn't everything for Yo because he's got the farms and everything now, but still. It's been interesting to see, as we have the castle from Vivi now, so he'll be making camel archers. It's been interesting to see the units today. Like now we're going to have Fire Archer, Magyar Hussar, Camel Archer. All early Castle Age right now. Like crazy stuff. 3 players going unique units. It used to be LY. There was like that was the only team that would really go unique units when other teams wouldn't. But these days, you're seeing the fast castling a lot more. The big reason for that is because there's just so much additional food on this map. I'm seeing additional sheep. I'm seeing all the boars, the elephants, the fish. So it's not really a unit balance thing as much as it is just the way that the ecos allow for it. Nice snipe there from Vivi. He's going to want a lot more than that, but he is trying to snipe fishing ships. And the Magyar Hussars are going to run into camels from Doubt in the middle. Thing is, though, the Magyar Hussars have 12 attack, right? So it's a really cheap unit. So if you combine that with a monk or two, maybe it's fine. Or combine it with the camel archers. T90, is all this sound stuff plugged into the same power strip / outlet? It could honestly be as simple as a power cord screwing with the mic cord. Try isolating it out and see if it still persists. Yeah, the annoying thing, though, is I can't hear it myself. So it like requires a lot of recording and testing. I do have like a battery backup that everything's plugged into. Are you suggesting I plug... I mean, and my mic goes into my mixer, right? So should I plug it into a different outlet? I don't know. Attacks happening here, but this is the big thing. Jordan needs to keep this out. Jordan needs to keep this out if this army gets in. That's a big problem. And I think that Lix, if he gets through, is just going to completely destroy him here. So he's going to have to turn around. Jordan might need the occasional monk as well. Vivi's camel archers running this way, but they're completely walled out of Andy's base. Andy's signaling to communicate that. Yo hasn't come in with army yet. He's actually mainly playing Navy right now. So he's probably going to clear up down on water, and then maybe some of that Navy can move to the middle later. The ideal choice for the Cumans would be to play camel archer. Or, sorry, not camel archer, paladin. Camel archers were on the mind because the camel archers are here with Lix. And Andy is going to try and play Jean Bays to push back there. Not exactly ideal against camel archers long term, though, right? The camel archers have bonus damage against cav archer style units. So I don't think this is what Andy wants at all. And this is sometimes the weakness for Andy, right? A little late with the army numbers because he goes heavy on the eco. He will hold, though. Hold for now, at least. Yeah, I'll mess with it after stream, and I'll actually let some of you tech nerds know what the issue is, but thank you guys for being understanding that it's not like some deal breaker for you. I guess it's luckily pretty mild. But what would be really annoying is if I restart my PCs and then it's gone. Because then it's just, there's always the chance that it's going to come back. So yeah, that's, I'm kind of dreading that. Because that's the first thing I'm going to do is restart my stuff, right? It sounds better now. Well, there's also a game now. So having the game sound helps a little bit. Doubt doesn't really have too many camels yet. And so they're just going to dive underneath the TC. Man, I just feel like I've been following the same army, just running all around the map, and there's been no resistance for it. And yeah, they're just underneath Doubt's TC without a care in the world. And Doubt's probably like, how are they getting this value here? Crazy damage. So many Magyar Hussars, so many villagers killed, and so much idle time for Doubt, who no longer has the fishing eco. And now Yo's going to have a 20 eco lead. Here comes the Jean base to support. Here comes the fire archers as well. They'll clear this, but Doubt just got completely wiped. Complete's probably not the word, but you get the point. 3 TCs for Yo. Yo's untouched. And even if Yo is the worst military civ when compared to the Saracens now, I think he could actually make knights and feel comfortable. Very realistic he could get to Paladin before Doubt gets to, like, Elite Mameluke or whatever the goal would be, right? But Jordan can't be broken because he always has this castle. This has been kind of YOLO from Lix, though as I say that, he's got a reasonable eco and we'll drop the second TC. Camel archers need to be dealt with, though. Like, the camel archers that's the unit that can win you games. And the camel archer runs in against the Jean Bay. Oh, man. It should be easier to mass the Jean Bay because you're only producing out of ranges, right? So, Andy does have that. I actually wouldn't hate seeing him mix in a couple skirms as long as the Magyar Hussars were dealt with. But there's always a chance the Magyar Hussars come over, so you probably just stay with the Jean Bay. T90, would you organize a vegan tournament? ? No animals can be exploited in the games. Does that apply to military as well, or are we just talking food? Like, can we make camel archers in that? Is it just human v human combat? Archers and man-at-arms, no scouts? No cav? It's an idea for a video, maybe. Am I going to organize a tournament with that? Absolutely not. But maybe for a video, I don't know. It's a funny thought. Vivi running away. Yeah, the numbers are definitely there for Andy. And Andy's got a pretty sick eco, but Andy's looking at that eco, and Andy! Freaking Andy! He's just distracted, right? He's got this other army over here. He's dropping his town centers. He's dropping his 4th archer range now. So who should be able to get good numbers? The camel archer numbers are kind of low right now for Vivi. So I think that Onimaru Vanguard in a pretty good position with their military, which has been the weakness all series. Doubt's going to have Saracen camels. Jordan's got 20 or so fire archers, sorry. So he hasn't lost his fire archers, even though they haven't done anything yet. Their presence is going to be felt throughout the games. He's good wall up. I think the long term for Jordan as well is to play Navy with this Civ, which is part of the reason this castle's here, and to woo a very strong Navy. A little counter raid attempt here from Andy. Goes a little deep there, and I think we'll get cleared up. Andy's still trying to defend Jordan over this side too. I'm just worried about Yo, right? Like, we've not seen Yo with much military, and it's not been a problem. Usually it's a problem if someone doesn't have military. But after that one raid they did on Doubt, Yo's just got this amazing eco. And Yo's clicked Cavalier, and he's going to be getting the upgrades, and like they can't do a damn thing about this. So Lix and Vivi are just all over the map for the team. It's right now hitting the point where they are really going to need Yo, because that's a lot of army right now from Andy. But they got to get the pressure in big time. You can tell Yo isn't feeling pressure. Typically, you wouldn't want that armor upgrade in queue like that. You'd want it right away. But he's like, whatever. It doesn't matter. These walls are not completed yet. That's going to be the long-term plan, though. Wall it up. Get the choke points set. Drop castles. Get the Saracens onto heavy camel. And then you're fine against Cavalier. There's a signal from Dowd and Jordan. So they're aware what Yo is going to bring. I don't think they'll be able to wall this. But maybe Dowd could drop a castle at home. Luckily, he's Saracens, and you just get the extra HP on your camels for free, so you might be able to hold with Castle Age camels. If any Civ can hold from this, it would be Saracens, maybe. Jean Bay's running this way. I also worry for Andy's Jean Bay numbers. I feel like these could get cleared if Cavalier come into the mix. mr.yo wanting a forward castle here. There's a demo there from Lix. That's his teammate. I got excited for a second. Paladin on the way. So, Yo's going to have Paladin before Dowd has heavy camel. But Dowd has monks, and Dowd has a lot of camels there. That's enough where I would think twice as well if I were mr.yo. If he's still chasing. Imp is on the way for Jordan now. Imp is on the way for Andy. Imp is on the way for Dowd. So 3 players on the way to Imperial Age. But these Janbeis not able to find any success against the Camel Archers. And there's a lot more Camel Archers now. And that castle's going to complete for Yo. And Dowd can't push forward. He could have. He saw this army. He could have chased it, but I still think he's worried about it. He wants to wait till he gets upgrades, right? You don't feel comfortable having a Castle Age army chasing an Imperial Age army like that. I feel like that castle's going to be super annoying. Look at trade already from Yo. Like, they're already going to be adding trade for more gold. Yo, just... It's crazy to me that he basically didn't make much army this game. He got a free boom. There was never any pressure here. And on water as well, there was no pressure. Like, no significant pressure. That's surely got to be part of the game plan if you're up against the Cumans. Monk goes down. I think they might force the fight before Heavy Camel. Like, why not? Maybe you wait a little bit longer. Wait, because you're going to have Trebs here for mr.yo. But Heavy Camel's a minute away now from Dowd. And Paladin's about to be in. Would be crazy if you attack the stables and somehow guess which one has the heavy camel upgrade. Oh, man. Fire archers are there. They do look really cool. I'm not really certain if this unit is going to be enough to defend from Paladin. Looking cool is not one of the reasons that players are going to play with units at this level. And Paladins are going to go for the raid. Doubt tries to chase. And Doubt getting his ratios wrong. He needs to have all of his camels here, in my opinion. He sent way too many this way. We'll chase down the camel archers. Camels are going to be a good option there now that he's got the upgrade. So the camel archers maybe have gone too far. And all right, heavy camels in. I think they'll hold this, but there's paladins in the back as well. Oh, man. That's so brutal. Just when Doubt's eco was starting to stabilize, too. Big raid. Also didn't quite have enough to deal with this, so still lots of idle time for Jordan. Andy's got units in the middle. There's the loose swans. So that was the plan for Jordan. Part of the reason he picked the Woo. Andy is an imp with Janbei Raiders. I always call them Janbei Riders, but I guess they're Raiders that happen to be Riders. Imp upgrades coming in for Vivi. He doesn't have it yet, actually, and he doesn't have the numbers, so he'll eventually have the superior army, but he doesn't have the upgrades yet. So many paladins from Yo just streaming into Jordan's eco. They just let mr.yo boom untouched the whole game with no pressure there on land or on water. And I don't want to finger point hugely, but I just think Doubt's approach was really off this game. Like, he went fast feudal into a blacksmith and a late mill and then a market, like, because he wanted to rush Castle Age, I guess. I would have loved if he just went water, took away the fish, added fish eco, and then use your market to get to Castle Age. I think that would have been a better approach. But you're always under some weird pressure when the humans are there, because on a big map like this, it's tough to get the lands damage in. But you're just not going to stop Yo making paladins. He's got trade nonstop. And yeah, Lix has not needed army in a long time. It's now all about the camel archers. It's all about the paladins. Lix is going to just chill. Maybe play cav archers now. But he hasn't really even been needed, right? And down goes the castle there for Doubt. Fire archer. Just not sure. Has that been the answer? Like, could Jordan have gone for standard archers? Could he have gone for... Could they have drafted another Civ? These are the things that you end up asking here. But if LY win this game, they'll get the 3 points from the game victories. And then they get the bonus point from winning the series, which is going to put them super high up at the top of the standings. And maybe... like, one of the favorites to get first place. I mean, they certainly have to be one of the favorites to get first place. No doubt about that. Just... like, LI being top 4 feels inevitable right now for me. Yeah, Janbei's not enough against the Camel Archers. Camel Archers so much better. It's not even close, by the way. 60 HP against 80 HP. 5 base attack against 8 base attack. And that's not even factoring in any of the bonus damage or the fact that the Camel Archers regenerate as well. But hey, you got Fire Archers. They can attack buildings. It'll take some time to take down those buildings. And Andy, oh no, he's trying to protect the trade. And his castle isn't up yet, and that's going to be denied. And the Camel Archer is going to be sitting all through the trade. It's crazy to look up here and see that Vanguard apparently has more population. It doesn't feel like that. I guess it's because Jordan has 70 pop in army that hasn't contributed a lot yet. But he's trying to. And he's trying to max out here with Doubt. Here's the Magyar Cav Archers behind the Paladins. There's also Halbs in the mix. Doubt's going to go in there, hoping the Saracen Camels are tanky enough. But when there's Halbs there, I don't think you could be standing there for very long. All the Janbei... wow, okay, that's a lot of army. So they will defend the trade. Very nice raid, though, from Vivi. Not so good for Vivi that he could lose his castle, but he's used the Treb and the Camel Archers against the loose swans here. Really nice play. And they're still pushing here. But yeah, they might be able to break Andy on the front. All of Andy's army is probably going to come that direction. Can't get into the Trebs that easily. We are seeing how good the Saracen Camels can be. So maybe if they can hold the line, maybe eventually humans just become useless. I actually think that Yo should consider Siege Onager in this scenario. People forget that the humans get Siege Onager. That's a way that they can contribute here, maybe. And towers from Andy. They're getting castles in the trade routes. They're adding their trade. They haven't been broken here yet. If Vanguard can hold here, they actually kind of got to push it back. I think they have to take down these castles to feel truly safe, because otherwise the pain's going to continue. Yeah, they have to push this back, and then maybe. It could also be really good if Andy starts to make some progress over here. Maybe they could threaten the trade route there, but it just doesn't feel like he's got the military to compete, man. Also still just kind of underwhelmed by the fire archers. I just don't know if the unit is good enough. You want the strongest units possible in late game, right? I just don't know if fire archer is one of the best units available. It certainly is for the Wu, right? Like, it's the right play for him to make now. I'm just saying, like, in general, can it compete once the Magyar player gets to 60 cav archers? I'm not sure. Paladins will go in. Doubt will track this. Doubt immediately rewalls behind. Doubt should be able to clear that. That's well played. Vivi's military number is kind of low right now. And... oh! A transport from Andy into the trade. Hold up a second. That is a big raid. We got Vils going down. We got trade going down as well. Meanwhile, the trade raid back here doesn't do anything for mr.yo. And they're holding the line. Oh, that's huge. Now, Vivi notices this. Vivi should be able to clear this, but that might take a little bit of pressure away from his push. Well, he does take down the castle. Andy will just replace that with a tower. Nice play from Andy there. That's at least something. I feel like the cav archer count needs to be at like 50 or 60. Lix is only at 40 right now. The camel archer count the same. There's only 30. Oh, God. The cav archers are here, though. Yeah, and they can run right in. There's no castle here. Doubt might panic sell everything he can and try and, like, buy a castle here. Jordan's got to loop over to support. Onager from mr.yo. So I think he will try and go Siege Onager. I think it's a really good choice. Especially if there's... you only need like 2 or 3 of them. So it's really pop efficient. And you can land very big shots that can change games. Yeah. Doubt loses his camels there because he needs to keep his camels on the front lines. He is massing siege to try and push these castles back. 1v1 continues between Vivi and Andy, but Andy's just got like walls and towers everywhere. The camel archers can't win the fights as easily because they're always running into walls and towers. Look at Andy's micro, dude. It's so funny. Is he gonna dock block this? That's crazy. His damage control is really next level. I mean, he's holding the line. Like, the army can't get through, so he's holding the line. Cav archers will run in. The cav archers might get killed. That is a lot of camels. Lix is sacrificing his whole CA army just to snipe some trade. And there's the Siege Onager upgrade. Camel archers still can't get through. No demos in sight. Because people, they don't believe in the demos. These walls are so nice. Like, Vivi just can't run through it all. And those cav archers got cleared. Dude. Are they doing this? Is Vanguard holding? It feels like they still don't have a lot of siege here, though, right? Like, they need more than one bombard cannon. Yeah, that's a bit wasteful. Yo's castle is going to be a pain every single time they engage around here. We see Genitors there from Vivi. Honestly, I might want to see him switch to Cavalier or something. Get some melee units in there against the Lushwans. Camel archers are coming over this way to support. The issue is Andy's not really pushing, right? Like, Andy's just holding the line. He can never push. So Vivi could just come over here and it's not a problem. Okay, let's see if the Onagers hit their shots. There's a big splat. Siege Onager upgrades in now. I don't think humans get Siege Engineers, so the range is lacking. But all it takes is 1 or 2 big hits for the SO to have paid for themselves, in my opinion. We're killing some of the fire archers. Yep, flattening even more fire archers there. But population still even. The T90, do you think playing together for so long has given LY the advantage? Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. Jordan and Dowd have also played together for a very long time. Playing together with players, like comfortability, having it feel second nature is super valuable. So a lot of the best teams usually have that. It's what makes it tough to break the top teams, is because their talent, but also their synergy, and synergy in team games is really important. You got to trust your teammates, expect that they're going to show up. Guys, LY, they could still just run right in. There's gaps in the trade. So I think that, like, they just need to realize and give it a go. But the castle went down for Dowd. Or for Yo, rather. So not so good there. And Vanguard holding the line. Not sure this whole League Genitor against boats thing is the way to play it. I guess it's not a gold unit, so it's you could throw it away, but like that's not good. Maybe it's worth, yeah, okay. Maybe it's worth to go for like a really big navy if you're Vivi, which he's gonna try. But the thing is, loose swans kind of kill everything, so even if you go for fast fires, it might get kind of tricky there. Okay, there they go into the trade. So they actually run into the corner again, which means you can't easily escape if it's rewalled behind. Camel archers and cav archers go there. They're not going to kill that much trade here. So maybe one of the players needs to just get away. Now they're killing a little bit of trade. Trade count is much higher for LY. And Yo using this opportunity to run forward and just build another castle here. Like, fast fire should be the type of unit to go for against the loose swans. So it's not a bad move from Vivi, but loose swan numbers, granted, they are expensive. Loose swan numbers can still take care of them. It looks like the fast fire numbers are there. What Andy is doing, though, is he'll creep forward with towers. The towers do so much bonus damage against the ships. Andy's just kind of the master at finding the ratios there. 600 pop is your max pop in a 3v3 game. It's 570 for LY. It's 540 for Vanguard. Still think they need a castle here or towers back there. There's still that wide open gap. I like the stone walls from LY. This game could go on for a long time. A really long time. I mean, already been the longest game of the series by far. You might think about possible tech switches for Doubt's team. I'd say maybe he could go Mamelukes. But I don't think he has the castle set up for that. In fact, he doesn't have any castles, which is just a really rough position. But if the game goes on for a long time, that's a possible tech switch. I don't know if it's a good option, but maybe you could try Tiger Cav if you are Andy. So that's a possible tech switch there, which again requires castles, which he doesn't have many of. I think a couple units were in the trade. They get cleared up. I like that Jordan's got traction trebs now. They've lacked siege here. But traction trebs are a bit weird with pop efficiency because you almost need to get to like 8 to 10 traction trebs for them to feel insanely strong. And then that's 10 of your pop you can't use otherwise. That's never an engagement you want to take there, right? Oh, he stacked up. That makes sense. I was like, why did Yo just go into those camels like that? But he tried to bait Doubt into stacking up so the siege onagers could flatten. It's pretty smart. And the siege onagers actually get sniped by the traction trebs, but they do gain the hill off this. But I think it's still a much better fight for Onimaru. Elix seems to disagree on that. He's going to come forward with his own castle. They still feel like they're super close to the trade, and they're going Navy here. How could we forget the Navy aspect? Yeah, you go Navy, and then you can use the cannon galleons to take down the markets, disrupt the trade that way. Really smart. And Vivi's also gone for a much bigger navy on this side as well, trying to make progress with cannon galleons against the towers. It's not looking good for Doubt. Doubt is 7 military. His stables are all right next to this, so as he produces units to help out in the fight, he can't get the mass. And I think Andy's got his hands full. Like, Andy's trying to fight so actively in the other areas on the water, and boom, big siege on your shot. Yeah, then Jordan as well. It's like this castle from Jordan, kind of a crazy castle in my opinion. I think if it does go up, and it will, they'll take losses building it, and it might just get trebbed right down. But yeah, they were losing grounds, and the trade is right there. The trade will already be disrupted here. Fire archers are weirdly good against ships, so they actually could take that down. Andy not really advancing, just defending here. I still think, like, I guess they got to the late game, which is where they like their chances with the Saracens. But I still feel like this whole position, which they've used to cement the position in the game, is just because they didn't pressure Yo. Like, they were not able to find an answer to stopping Yo Boom. And I think there were maybe some opportunities there that they missed. There's the trade. And I think this is enough to end the game. They got to clear this now. Even if you clear the army now, you're losing some massive trade. And if you lose the trade, you're not going to have the golds. If you don't have the golds, you're not going to have the army. This is how you end games right here. And it's just a really, really good team, LY. I think the previous game was a little blip. Like, maybe something they need to look into, because they were behind pretty early on in Castle Age there. But it's very rare that this team is ever not in a game. They're so good on all the settings here. Now, all the towers went down. Like, that takes so much work, but they've done that. So now Andy's lost the position there. The Camel Archers can run this way now. And I think Onimaru Vanguard just doesn't want to accept it. Lix is going to force him to accept it. We've got siege rams from Yo, cannon galleons, castle drops, cav archers. Like, ridiculous. What a series from Lix and Vivi, by the way. Yo gets a lot of the credit all the time. Lix and Vivi played incredible today. Like, the Magyar Hussar raids, the Camel Archer raids in the early game, and then the Cav Archer switch, and the numbers of them from Lix, and the castle position, just everything's so good. They're so good. LY win 3-1. Well, look at the standings here, but that puts them in such a good spot. You get the third point from the third win and the bonus point for winning the series. They've got to be very, very happy there. And for Onimaru Vanguard, to me, it felt like the last two games, they stepped it up. The first two games, it didn't work out for them. Maybe part of that was Nomad, but at least like Menendi, it didn't really feel comfortable. It felt like it was really suited for LY's game plan. But the thing you normally think of where any team that Doubt's on or Andy's on is they try and play a little bit unorthodox. They try and surprise you with some cool strats. And yeah, they just went up against a team that is simply slightly better at that for the majority of these settings.